Hey everyone. Uh, they've been thinking about you, not just casually, not just in passing, but in those late night moments when everything's quiet and there's nothing left to distract them from the truth. And the truth is, they miss you. They miss you more than they want to admit, more than they're willing to show. And they want to talk to you, but they're holding back. Welcome back. It's Anna, and I need you to stay with me on this because what I'm about to share might hit closer to home than you expect. This isn't about mind reading. This isn't about some cosmic download. This is about human psychology, about patterns, about the way people behave when they're caught between what they want and what their pride will allow. So let me ask you something right now. Is there someone in your life, someone who's been distant, quiet, or inconsistent, but you can feel them hovering? Like they're not fully gone, but they're not fully present either? Yeah, that person, they want to talk, but they don't want you to know how badly they miss you. Because admitting they need you, that they made a mistake, that they're struggling without you, that feels vulnerable. And vulnerability, that's terrifying for some people. Let me paint you a picture. It's late, they're scrolling through their phone, they see your name, maybe in their messages, maybe on social media, and there's this pull, this urge to reach out, to say something, anything. But then the doubt creeps in. What if they don't respond? What if they've moved on? What if I look desperate? What if I say the wrong thing? So they put the phone down, they distract themselves, they tell themselves it doesn't matter, but it does. And you can feel it, can't you? You may notice that this person has been watching you, not in an obvious way, but subtly checking your stories, liking old posts, asking mutual friends about you in ways that seem casual but aren't. They're keeping tabs because even though they're not talking to you directly, they haven't let go. They're just trying to figure out how to come back without losing face. And that's the thing, isn't it? Pride, ego, the fear of looking like they need you more than you need them. Hold on, let me slow down for a second because I want to be really clear about something. Just because someone misses you doesn't mean they're good for you. Just because they want to talk doesn't mean you owe them your time, your energy, or your forgiveness. This message isn't about rushing back to someone who hurt you. It's about understanding what's actually happening beneath the surface so you can make an informed decision, so you can stop second guessing yourself. Here's what I've been picking up on. There's been a shift recently, maybe in the last few days, maybe in the last couple of weeks. You've started to feel lighter, more grounded, like you're finally getting some clarity about this situation. And interestingly, that's when they start to feel it too. Because there's this dynamic that happens when someone's been used to having access to you, even indirectly, when they sense you're pulling away emotionally, when they sense you're no longer waiting by the phone, when they sense you're moving on, that's when the panic sets in. Not because they suddenly realize your worth, but because they're losing control of the narrative. They're losing the option. And for some people, having the option is more important than actually exercising it. Let me ask you this. Have you been feeling lately like you're done waiting? Like you've reached a point where you're not angry anymore, not even sad, just neutral? that neutrality, that's growth, that's detachment, and they can feel it. And it scares them. So here's what might happen. They might reach out soon, not with a grand gesture, not with a full explanation or apology, but with something small, something that feels safe, something that gives them plausible deniability. A random text. Hey, how have you been? A reaction to your story, a comment that seems innocent but is clearly a test. They're dipping their toe in the water, seeing if you're still available, seeing if the door is still open. And what you do with that, that's entirely up to you. But let me tell you what I think is really going on. They don't just want to talk, they want reassurance. They want to know that you still care, that you haven't replaced them, that they still matter to you. But they don't want to admit that. They don't want to be the one who's vulnerable, the one who needs, the one who comes back. So they're waiting for you to make it easy for them, to reach out first, to ask how they are, to give them an opening. And maybe you've been tempted to do that. Maybe you've typed out a message and deleted it 5 times. Maybe you've thought, what if I just check in? What's the harm? I'm not sure why, but this feels important. You don't have to make it easy for them. If they miss you, if they want to talk, if they regret how things ended or how they've been treating you, they can say that. They can be honest. They can be direct. You're not responsible for managing their discomfort around vulnerability. You're not responsible for reading between the lines, decoding breadcrumbs, or interpreting silence as secret longing. If they want you in their life, they know how to use their words. Now, let me give you another scenario. Maybe this person doesn't reach out at all. Maybe they just keep hovering, watching, hoping you'll notice them without them having to actually do anything. And that can feel maddening, can't it? Because part of you wants closure. Part of you wants them to just say something so you can stop wondering. But here's the thing. Their silence is communication. Their inability to reach out, to be honest, to take accountability, that's telling you everything you need to know. It's not that they don't miss you. They probably do. But they miss you in a way that's convenient for them, in a way that doesn't require them to change, grow, or confront their own patterns. So let me ask you something. If they reached out tomorrow, what would you want to hear? Would you want an apology, an explanation, or would you just want honesty, acknowledgement that they've been inconsistent, distant, confusing, and more importantly, what would you want to say? Because I think part of what's keeping you in this limbo is that you haven't fully decided what you want. You're waiting for them to make the first move so you can react. But maybe what you really need is to figure out your own position first. Do you want them back? Do you want closure? Do you want space? Or do you just want to stop thinking about it altogether? Here's what I'm sensing about the emotional dynamic between you two. There's unfinished business. Not necessarily romantic, not necessarily dramatic, but emotional. Something was left unsaid. Something was left unresolved. And that lack of resolution, it creates tension. It keeps both of you tethered to each other in this weird, uncomfortable way. For you, it might feel like you can't fully move on until you have clarity. For them, it might feel like they can't reach out until they're sure it won't backfire. So you're both stuck, waiting, watching, wondering. But here's the truth. You don't actually need their closure to move forward. You can give yourself closure. You can decide internally what this relationship was, what it meant, and what you're taking forward from it. You can acknowledge that they probably do miss you and still choose not to engage. You can hold both truths at once. They miss you, and that's not your problem to solve. Let me ask you this. Have you been replaying conversations in your head lately? Imagining what you'd say if they reached out? Preparing yourself emotionally for a conversation that might never happen? If so, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and let me know, are you waiting for someone to reach out? Because here's what I want you to understand. They want to talk, but they don't want you to know how badly they miss you. And that power imbalance, that's what's keeping this dynamic stuck. They want you to need them more than they need you. They want you to reach out first so they don't have to risk rejection. They want reassurance without having to be vulnerable. And you've been giving them that, not intentionally, but by staying in this emotional holding pattern, by wondering, by waiting. So what would it feel like to just stop? Not to close the door necessarily, but to stop standing at the door, waiting for them to knock, is less than has hone. Zero hash is greater than. What would it feel like to redirect your energy back to yourself, to your life, your goals, your peace, to the people who are actually present, consistent, and clear about wanting you in their life? I think it would feel like relief. And maybe that scares you a little, because relief means letting go of the hope that things will magically resolve themselves. But here's the thing. If this person genuinely misses you, if they genuinely want you in their life, they'll figure it out. They'll find the courage. They'll find the words. And if they don't, that's your answer too. Silence is a choice. Inaction is a choice. And you deserve someone who chooses you clearly, consistently, without you having to guess or decode or wait endlessly. So here's what I want to leave you with. Yes, they probably miss you. Yes, they probably want to talk. But wanting something and being willing to do the work to have it, those are two different things. And you can't want someone into emotional maturity. You can't wait for them to become brave enough to be honest with you. All you can do is decide what you're available for and hold that boundary with kindness and clarity. Take what resonates here. Leave what doesn't, but trust your inner knowing. If someone's behavior is confusing you, making you anxious, keeping you in limbo, that's not love. That's not connection. That's someone who wants the comfort of your presence without the responsibility of actually showing up. And you deserve better than that. So if they reach out, respond from a place of groundedness, not desperation. And if they don't, keep moving forward. Keep choosing yourself. You're not waiting anymore. You're living. Thanks for being here. I'll see you soon. Take care.